What is going on, traders, and welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, welcome. I'm glad to have you. Now in this video, I'm going to be going over my watch list for the trading week of August 1st, 2022. Let's get to it. All right, the catalyst for this upcoming week. The only thing that I saw was the OPEC meeting, and that happens on Wednesday. And based on the outcome of that, it could introduce some volatility into the energy sector. So we'll talk about that in a few. Let's go ahead and look at this week's earnings calendar. All right, so here's this week's calendar. Now there's quite a few different sectors represented this week, but my main focus will be on tech and energy. So I'll be watching companies like AMD, PayPal, Alibaba, DataDog, Square, also known as Block, and Fortinet. On the energy side, I'll be watching Diamondback Energy, Marathon Oil, and others. But I'll especially be focusing on Moderna. Even though it's not in the tech or energy sector, I'll be watching Moderna because whether they have good or bad earnings, it likes to run. All right, let's go ahead and get started with the watch list. All right, first up is going to be the QQQ. It's the index that tracks the tech sector. Now here I have it pulled up on the 4-hour chart. Now over the last couple of weeks, the QQQ has been on a nice run, and congratulations to everybody who took advantage of that. So first off, let's look at the bullish scenario. Right now, QQQ is sitting around $315.50, and this level around $316.50 has been tested quite a few times. All right, so we want to see if it can get above that, and if it does, the first level that I'm looking for to test is around $326.50. That'll be a nice $10 run, and we'll reassess from there. Now the bearish scenario, if we wake up in the morning and when the market opens, if the QQQ is under $316.50 and it comes up to it and it gets rejected by it and start heading down, the first level that I'm looking for to test is around $313. If it can't hold that, the next level is around $309.50. And if it can't hold that, we'll probably go all the way down to around $300. Okay, so keep these levels on your watch list and let's see what happens. All right, up next is Advanced Micro Devices, ticker symbol AMD. Now here I have it pulled up on the 4-hour chart here. Now the whole semiconductor sector has been on a nice run since this CHIPS bill has been in the news, but now that it's passed, we only could wonder, is it going to continue to run, or will it start to sell off in a sell the news type scenario? But Friday it did continue to run, but we'll see what happens with that. So first off, the bullish scenario. Right now it's sitting around $94.50. If it can hold above $92.50, I'm looking for AMD to test $100. Okay. Now the bearish scenario, if we wake up in the morning and AMD is under $92.50, or it comes and blows through it to the downside, retest it and cannot get above it, I'm looking for AMD to come all the way down to around $84.75. If it can't hold that, the next level is $79.75. Okay, so keep these levels on your watch list and let's see what happens. All right, up next is going to be DataDog, ticker symbol DDOG. Now here I have it pulled up on the daily chart to show you this range right here between $102 and $120. A lot of times when it breaks through $102, it gets almost to $120 and gets rejected down. You can see it happen a few times here. Broke down right here. So keep these levels in mind when we go over this week's levels. Okay, so let's move down to the 4-hour chart, and first off we're going to talk about the bullish scenario. Now right now it's sitting around $102. Now if they have good earnings and good guidance, I'm looking for it to blow through this $102 level and test around $107.50. If it can get through this, the next level that I'm looking for is around $119.75. Okay, so that's the bullish scenario. Now in the bearish scenario, if they have bad earnings or they barely eke by like they normally do, and it decides it wants to sell off, because you can see right here, this $102 level could be some resistance for them. Now if they decide they want to sell off, the first level that I'm looking for to test is around $95.50. If it can't hold that, all the way down to around $90.50. Okay, so keep these levels on your watch list and let's see what happens. All right, up next is going to be Block, ticker symbol SQ. Now here I have it pulled up on the daily chart here, And I'm going to zoom in because I have quite a few levels marked here. And look at this price point around $83.50. Now going back as far as around November of 2018, it had a hard time breaking above this level before eventually doing so and running all the way up to around $290. Now it's sold off quite a bit since then. And I'm going to zoom in on recent history here. You can see back in, February of 2022, it tested this $83.50 level and then bounced back up. Got all the way up here, came back down and chopped around between $83.50 and $88 before eventually selling off to where we are right now. Now right now, block is sitting around $76. So let's move to the 4-hour chart so we can see this a little bit better and go over this week's ranges. All right, first off, the bullish scenario. Now, block doesn't have earnings until after the market closes on Thursday, so a lot could happen before then. But what we're hoping for is it staying above $74.25. And if it can do that and they have good earnings, the first level that I'm looking for it to test is around $83.50. If it can get through that, the highest I see it going is around $88. Okay, that's the bullish scenario. Now if they have bad earnings or bad guidance, and for whatever reason the market decides it wants to sell off also, and it cannot hold this $74.25 level, the first level that I'm looking for it to test is around $70. If it can't hold that, all the way down to around $67. And if it can't hold that, all the way down to $62. Okay, now if I go over to the volume profile for block, also known as square, you can see that there's quite a few buyers around $62 right here. So I don't think it'll get any further down than that. But if it does, it can fall all the way down to around $50. Okay, so keep these levels on your watch list and let's see what happens. All right, up next is Exxon Mobil, ticker symbol XOM. Now here I have it pulled up on the 4-hour chart here, and like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, OPEC members are going to be meeting on Wednesday to discuss how much oil they're going to be pumping. Okay, now in anticipation to that, a lot of people felt that OPEC's going to say, hey look, we're not going to be pumping more oil, and that's what's caused these oil stocks to run up. And since this doesn't happen until Wednesday, it's possible that these oil stocks can continue to run up. Okay, so right now Exxon is sitting around $97. If it can stay above $96.50, the first level that I'm looking for it to test is around $98.25. If it can get through that, the next level is $100.25. Now by Wednesday, if they come out and say, yeah, we're going to go ahead and pump more oil, from the way that I understand it, that's going to cause these oil stocks to go right back down to the downside. And if that happens, these are the levels that I'm going to be watching. If it cannot hold $96.50, the first level that I'm looking for is $95.50. If it can't hold that, $92.50. If it can't hold that, $90.50. Now, if it can't hold $90.50, I see it falling all the way down to around $84. Okay, so keep these levels on your watch list and let's see what happens. All right, and the last one we're going to be looking at is Moderna, ticker symbol MRNA. Now here I have it pulled up on the 4-hour chart here, and back in March of 2022 you could see it could not get above $189. But just keep in mind that Moderna can run around $20 in either direction on earnings. Okay, so Moderna has earnings, before the market opens on Wednesday, and right now we're sitting around $164. So first levels that I'm watching, the bullish scenario, if it can stay above $163.25, the first level that I'm looking for it to test is around $172.25. Okay, and if it can get through that, the next level that I see is around $189 to the upside. Now, if they have bad guidance or bad earnings and it cannot stay above $163.25, I'm looking for it to come down to around $157. If it can't hold $157, I'm looking for it to drop down to around $151. Okay, so keep these levels on your watch list and let's see what happens. And that is the end of the video. If you found value, please smash that like button and consider subscribing. Here's wishing you a prosperous week of trading, and until next week, talk to you later.